Hello, and thank you for making the time to join us for this regular webinar. Today, we'll talk about the IDV trends every business needs to know in 2025. Before we begin, a few housekeeping items. If there are any audio issues, please try dialing in using the numbers provided in your invitation. Also, feel free to submit your questions live in the chat during our presentation. We'll answer them in the Q&A session at the end, or our team will address them as we go. This webinar is being recorded and we'll be sending out the link over the next few days. My name is Henry Padishman. I'm Executive VP of Identity Verification Solutions at Regula, and I will be presenting this webinar today. The focus of today will be on market insights, technologies, and innovations we consider important to highlight in respect to IDV trends in 2025. We will discuss some of the key emerging threats and the measures that can be taken to adapt to them. With 2025 already here, we're not just predicting shifts, we're preparing for them. So let's get started. Change isn't coming to the identity verification market or industry. It's already here, and it is constant. As technology, threats, and regulations evolve, so do the ways we verify identity. To help you navigate what's ahead, we have broken down the forces shaping IDV into three key drivers: emerging threats that demand immediate action, technological developments that redefine what's possible, and evolving regulations and rising user expectations, which are shaping the new normal. Here's how we see the landscape transforming. Let's see what it means for all of us. To better understand the IDV trends in practice, here are some market insights that force us to dive deeper. So let's start this journey together. For us, being an IDV vendor with extensive experience and unparalleled commitment to IDV, we make a point to closely collaborate with many analysts like Gartner, Forrester, and others, as well as placing great emphasis on perfectly understanding our customers' needs and consider and action their feedback. Thus, here I'm sharing and highlighting some of the key challenges businesses face today. Kid safety and age verification has recently become a major topic of focus. Digital IDs continue to gain more traction. There are many changes in regulations, and they are becoming more frequent. Gen AI is having major impacts. Customer expectations keep evolving, and customer experience is a major focus. There are also many region-specific challenges. Deepfakes and synthetic identities continue to be a major challenge. Data quality and inaccurate results bring their own issues. And of course, data privacy and ethics is a very real challenge and has rightly seen much attention drawn to it in recent times. I will cover these challenges and possible ways to address them further in this webinar. It's quite obvious that these challenges and threats require an adequate response. Gartner has formulated this quite succinctly as an identity-first business strategy as organizations are embarking on a zero-trust journey. Unfortunately, zero trust and identity-first approach are a must as the evolution of threats is never-ending. Regular recent surveys show that the number and kinds of identity fraud have risen significantly over the last 2 years. The threats of experiencing video deepfake has nearly doubled in size, from 29% to 50% of companies experiencing this form of fraud. Now, we are done with the introduction, so let's kick off with our first trend. Gartner says presentation attacks are the most common attack vector. To be able to combat deepfakes, it is now no longer enough to use biometric checks. Deepfakes are often good enough to bypass biometric checks. The first trend is the necessity to control the data source, and this has become the cornerstone of defense against deepfakes. Deepfake technology has grown from a niche concern to a significant challenge in identity verification. In 2024, half of the businesses participating in our survey fell victim to at least one audio or video deepfake. 49% of companies have experienced both audio and video deepfakes, and that's up from 37% and 29% in 2022 respectively. And in the financial sector, the rate was even higher. By the way, if you're interested in more details, you're welcome to watch our recent webinar on the future of fakes, deepfakes and the next digital challenge, based on our 2024 Deepfake Research. With cheap AI tools readily available, even amateur fraudsters can make these fake images, videos, and audio more realistic. Scammers can generate a convincing fake ID using photo or video generators and underground services. The cost of such a fake is alarmingly low. It's about $15. AI is becoming both more affordable and more dangerous, as fraudsters are now actively exploiting it. Presented with the help of injection methods, video and voice, or replays, deepfakes can bypass traditional verification methods, such as basic selfie comparison. Also, deepfakes have reached the milestone where humans often fail to detect them. And that's become a major challenge. This situation calls for new, so-called hardware-enabled solutions and approaches. The first and most critical step in combating deepfakes is controlling the signal source. For example, some smartphones do not allow tampering with video streams, while others do. Implementing this is rather difficult if the IDV process is fulfilled in a web browser. But some mobile platforms provide such an opportunity by using native apps. Without signal source integrity, even the most advanced verification systems can struggle to differentiate between real and fake inputs. But it's not all about deepfakes. Traditional threats still dominate, and this is our second trend. Despite the growing threat of deepfakes, synthetic identity fraud, where real and fake data are combined to create a new identity, and fake or altered physical ID documents are still highly prevalent. At this stage, they're still more prevalent than deepfakes. What's more, these old forms of fraud have continued to grow and demonstrated an increase from 49% in 2022 to 58% in 2024 for fake IDs, and from 46% to 47% for synthetic IDs. Well, this makes sense, as documents remain the primary source for identity verification, such as customer onboarding, KYC, travel, and more. So it's strongly advised to switch to a new approach, which we at Regula call liveness-centric verification. This approach is focused on dealing with physical objects only, both faces and documents, and their dynamic parameters. No scans, no photos, only real documents and real people in real time. Organizations must ensure that they are verifying a real person. Therefore, they should enable liveness checks both for their ID and their face. The crucial thing in this approach is to really deal with a physical object, not a substituted screen. Here we have a tip. It would be best to request for customers to use their mobile phones during liveness sessions instead of a computer's webcam. This is because it is generally much more difficult for fraudsters to swap images or videos when using a mobile phone's camera. Moreover, along the customer journey, no matter the use case, it's crucial to run as many checks as possible. Whether they use mobile or web, only document or with biometric data. So many checks along the process. As you may have guessed, the technological shifts boost threats and verification methods, and vice versa. An evolving and ongoing battle. And this brings us to trend 3, which highlights the growing importance of AI and ML tools in identity verification. Browsing the internet, I found a comprehensive article that examines the convergence of cybersecurity and identity and access management in modern organizations. And interestingly, it found that AI and machine learning integration in cybersecurity has shown remarkable effectiveness, with organizations reporting a 234% increase in threat detection accuracy through AI-powered systems. Many organizations have started using AI-powered technology for fraud protection. A good example is Visa, who recently launched a new generative AI-powered fraud solution, which they call Visa Account Attack Intelligence Score. So to help identify, and it's used to help identify the likelihood of enumeration attacks in card-not-present transactions. Artificial intelligence and machine learning have significantly enhanced fraud detection across various industries. Here are some key enhancements brought about by these technologies. Real-time monitoring, where AI systems can analyze fraudulent transactions in real time, allowing for immediate detection of suspicious activities. This is crucial in sectors like banking and e-commerce, where swift action can prevent significant losses. Improved accuracy. Machine learning models can learn from vast amounts of historical data, improving their ability to distinguish between legitimate transactions and fraudulent ones. This reduces false positives and negatives. Behavioral analytics, where AI can analyze user behavior patterns over time. This behavioral analysis allows for more nuanced understanding of what constitutes normal behavior for each user. Accessing sensitive data from a new device, etc. And this triggers an alert. Then we come to adaptive learning, where machine learning models can adapt to new fraud tactics as they emerge. Continuous training with updated data ensures the detection systems remain effective against evolving threats. Predictive analytics can forecast the likelihood of future fraud based on historical trends and patterns, allowing organizations to take preemptive measures. Biometric visual recognition technologies. AI-powered image recognition can identify forged documents or verify identities through facial recognition technology. Like a car sharing service uses facial recognition at the driver onboarding stage to ensure that the person applying matches the ID provided. The integration of AI and ML into fraud detection processes has transformed how organizations identify and combat fraudulent activities. By leveraging these technologies, businesses can enhance their security measures, improve efficiency, and ultimately protect themselves and their customers from fraud more effectively. New types of neural networks continue to emerge with the development of AI and machine learning. Today, an advanced neural network can not only analyze vast data sets and automate routine tasks, but also detect subtle inconsistencies and uncover fraud patterns that would be invisible to the human eye. For instance, they can identify manipulated images, detect repeated use of biometric data across different identities, or flag unusual behavioral patterns during onboarding, as well as boost identity verification processes. We at Regula use many neural networks. This combination of neural networks works in the background of a single app to deliver a final result for our identity verification. It's quite hard to name a set list of the types of neural networks, as there are quite a lot of them, but let's look at the following major model. A classic detection model takes an image as input and outputs rectangular areas and the probability or confidence with which the object can be found in this area. Being a logical extension of the detection model, segmentation detects the exact shape of a detected object, fine-tunes its edges, and sorts out which pixels belong to which element. After simple algorithms deskew objects shot at an angle before passing them on for further processing. Classification tells us the class or type to which an object belongs. Document type classification network outputs the top classes of document types to which this object belongs with the highest probability. And finally, regression. In a regression model, the goal is to predict the output value. Fraudsters are becoming real pros at bypassing even sophisticated IDV systems. So developers must continuously train and update their models. At Regula, we have an automated system where models are continuously updated, sometimes multiple times per day. If you're interested in the finer details, you can refer to our blog post, Neural Networks in Identity Verification. Our AI streamlines the process. The use of neural networks not only enhances security, it also expedites the verification process. Here is an example of a solution implemented with Regula to enhance the reliability and speed of passport and document authentication to prevent fraud and ensure security. This system allowed documents to be analyzed and authenticated quickly and reliably for 282 million passengers. As a result, document verification time decreased by 70%, document checks are done in just 3 seconds, and accuracy has significantly improved. As digital interactions become more interconnected, IDV cannot be isolated from other solutions deployed in the organizations. So trend 4 is that IDV will become a part of a more complex security ecosystem. Identity verification workflows and technologies will inevitably be designed to work alongside a wide range of other IT systems so that businesses can take a holistic approach to security and user verification. Bringing cybersecurity and identity verification together allows to organize an identity-first approach. Remember, we talked about it at the beginning. Addressing zero trust in identity verification involves adding another layer of protection against such fraud with complete server-side verification and assuming no user or device is trustworthy. In modern cybersecurity environments, implementing access control measures ensures consistency and enables organizations to recognize and address security incidents more effectively. But there are challenges, specifically ones surrounding data privacy and ethics. Online businesses collect vast amounts of sensitive personal data, prompting governments worldwide to implement data privacy laws like GDPR in Europe, CCPA and CPRA in California, and COPPA in the United States, amongst others. These regulations require companies to proactively protect user data amid rising data breaches. On the ethics side, it's important that technology does not exacerbate social inequality. For example, relying solely on smartphones or biometric devices can exclude those without access. Solutions need to promote inclusivity. Alternative methods of identification, such as physical documents or multi-factor authentication, should be provided to accommodate diverse ages and demographics of customers. Even with the consideration of the challenges, IDV should nonetheless be combined with cybersecurity solutions to enhance defenses against a large variety of digital threats. Layered authentication creates a stronger defense, and it's not only about combining various IDV technologies. IDV will be reinforced with a range of multi-factor authentication technologies so that an individual can be identified not only by their ID or biometrics. To spot any abnormalities that may raise suspicion, we must pay attention to the device accessing a service, as well as its location, interaction history, and any other factors that can verify the authenticity of the identity. IDV systems will be connected to a greater number of various databases and information sources to ensure more robust checks. Such interoperability of diverse systems and user onboarding scenarios will require an orchestration tool. And in respect to IDV, customer journey orchestration will be inherent to it. So it is our fifth trend. Journey orchestration incorporates multiple identification technologies, such as biometrics, traditional passwords, and third-party identity systems, into a unified, layered framework. For example, during a single digital session, a user might log in using facial recognition verify their identity with a government-issued ID, and authorize a transaction via a one-time passcode. Each step is dynamically orchestrated, balancing security and convenience for both the user and the business. Orchestration gives businesses the ability to automate experiences that move each user through the right verifications at the right time. Customer journey orchestration assists in creating better UX and fraud protection. It's a platform approach that focuses on managing identity-related tasks dynamically through a user's digital journey. Regula perfectly caters for this approach. Possessing diverse solutions and expertise in software, hardware, documents, and biometric verification, it was a logical evolutionary step to combine all scenarios in one platform, the Regula IDV platform. So to eliminate the hassle with developing and supporting different solutions for every document type or scenario, we provide a solution that helps you customize and streamline user identity verification, no matter the document type or device on the user side. Along with scenario expansion, digital identity will continue gaining momentum and verification methods will broaden. And this is our trend 6. Identity verification is no longer limited to traditional document checks. As technology advances, the range of verification methods is expanding to include digital identities, the Digital Travel Credential, or DTC, mobile IDs, and more. There are 3 main types of digital identity documents. Biometric passports with an RFID chip are the most secure identity documents. Mobile driver's licenses, or MDLs, are becoming increasingly popular thanks to their convenience. And the DTC has appeared as a secure digital solution to enhance and streamline the travel experience. We'll dive deeper into this topic in our next upcoming webinar, Understanding EIDs and Digital IDs, Origins, Types, and Verification Capabilities. If you're interested in exploring these topics, I would be very happy to invite you to attend this upcoming webinar. In the meantime, I will briefly cover the topic here. There are many initiatives that regulate the usage and implementation of digital identity, such as mobile-based digital wallets, NIST guidelines, EU declaration, ICAO, and others. But one of the key challenges is that the existing standards in different countries and/or regions are not connected. And this is a huge problem in making digital ID unified. In any case, it's an emerging trend, and everyone related to IDV should be ready to handle such documents. Considering this trend, we at Regula just introduced support of DTC, the Digital Travel Credential. The main goal of the DTC is to facilitate clearance procedures during travel and ensure that people are eligible to enter their destination before they board a flight. Now, with Regula Document Reader SDK, a user can create and reprocess a DTC VC, the virtual component, out of an e-passport, as well as verify it by passing the DTC VC data as input. Also, the support for handling a DTC PC, physical component, is introduced. In particular, the updated Regula Document Reader SDK can read the document's RFID chip with a smartphone, securely verify it, and create the DTC VC. Recognize, read, and verify a DTC VC with a smartphone, passport reader, or server. And read a DTC PC with a smartphone or passport reader, pass its data, and verify. So quite a rich feature set. Threats and technologies do not shape the IDV industry development alone. Much depends on regulatory frameworks and user expectations. Governments worldwide are actively introducing new, tighter laws and guidelines to oversee various aspects of versatile IDV workflow. It's not a surprise that regulatory complexity is exploding. More industries are being regulated, more businesses are going global, there's more fraud, privacy is increasingly in focus, And there's a great increase in remote verification, as well as many, many other reasons. Talking to Gartner analysts, they highlighted the following factors will have the most significant impact on the IDV landscape in 2025. Digital identity, regulations and standards. We've just covered those. As well as another hot topic, which is age verification and parental consent tracking, especially in regards to social media. Let's take a closer look at Trend 7. Age verification regulations are tightening. Age verification regulations are certainly tightening. Governments around the world are introducing stricter regulations for online age verification, driven by growing concerns over minors accessing inappropriate content, online gambling, or restricted services. Inadequate age verification measures can lead to severe consequences, including significant fines, legal actions, and reputational harm. For example, Texas recently enacted a law imposing civil penalties of up to $250,000 for failures in age verification that allow minors to access harmful content. Pretty significant penalties. Implementing age verification involves several steps, both mandatory and optional, to accurately confirm a user's age and identity. Here's how a truly robust workflow unfolds. The process begins when a user attempts to access age-restricted content, products, or services. Then the user is required to upload a valid identity document. Here, a kid can potentially use a parent's ID. The document verification and biometric verification. The user is prompted to take a live selfie and it becomes more secure. Using face matching technology, the platform compares this selfie with the photo on the uploaded document to confirm that the user is the rightful owner. And then data is cross-compared and age assurance is done. Based on the result of these checks, the user is either granted or denied access to the restricted content or service. I recently spoke on this topic on Australian television, and an important addition to this workflow is to repeat some or all of these checks at random intervals of future interactions to avoid the possibility of someone creating an account and someone else using it on an ongoing basis. A good example is one of our customers, Grand Casino Lucerne. They implemented remote identity verification for their online casino and ensured compliance by verifying attributes such as age and residence without storing sensitive data. Important to note that businesses are not the only ones seeking solutions capable of verifying users' age quickly and reliably. IDV vendors are also researching new technologies, improving current methods to provide reliable age assurance techniques. We're getting close to the final trend. This is the penultimate trend, Trend 8. User expectations are making a significant contribution to the evolution of the IDV landscape. Today's users demand verification to not only be secure, but also fast, seamless, and tailored to their needs. Customer satisfaction is one of the top priorities for business, along with fraud protection. Balancing these two is a challenging task. IDV flow should not only be secure, but also fast, seamless, and tailored to the specific needs. There are 3 pillars that enable this. Convenience. Implementing streamlined workflows is key to meeting these expectations. Customization. Addressing industries, geographies, and organizations with unique requirements. Businesses are interested in flexible IDV solutions that can be tailored for their specific use cases. Accessibility. Being designed to ensure ease of use for people with differing needs, including special needs. IDV solutions must evolve and come of age together with their users. Our last trend for today, Trend 9, there's no doubt that today IDV is no longer only for clients. It's for the workforce as well. In the era of remote work, staffing brings new challenges. Fake identities in remote work ghost employees siphoning payroll funds, and other forms of fraud, like multiple rideshare drivers that might drive illegally using one account. Our customer Uber has implemented the driver verification program that is a part of Uber's ongoing work to raise safety standards on its platform and across the industry. Insider threats, exploiting falsified credentials to access sensitive data, are also a major challenge. Another example of IDV for the workforce is in the largest private bank in the world. This customer of ours has more than 120,000 employees worldwide. They travel a lot between offices and around the world in general. For security, they needed to obtain a bank access key. Regular solutions were integrated into the bank's internal mobile app for document scanning and verification and selfie liveness check in order to get the bank access keys through a remote automated process. Thanks to this, the time for self-identification was significantly reduced and the level of employee satisfaction and mobility increased significantly. Now that we have gone through our 9 IDV trends every business needs to know in 2025, as we look at this year and beyond, new challenges and opportunities are likely to emerge that will redefine the identity verification landscape. The focus will be on balancing security and usability while adapting to evolving threats and changing user expectations. To remain relevant, the industry must stay flexible and responsive, evolving to meet the demands of an increasingly complex digital environment. And now we come to our questions. I hope that you found this webinar useful and interesting, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Let's see what we've got. Okay. With the rise of remote digital interactions, what technologies do you consider the most reliable for maintaining security and trust in identity verification processes? I think I briefly covered some of those. I think it's no one technology. It's a matter of having multiple technologies used at the right time as a platform and as layers. So I would suggest, obviously, documents still form a major part of it, biometrics, and then all of the other additional steps like passwords, geo-tracking, anything that will allow you to make sure that the identity is authentic as well as the presentation being authentic. So it's really about a layered approach. Next one. Hi there. Just wondering, what is better, cloud or on-premise solutions in terms of data protection? What is the best strategy? This is an interesting one because ultimately it's all about the given use case and industry that you're in. Obviously, it goes back to how well you are protected and what regulations are on your particular industry. Ultimately, with on-premise solutions, you have much more control, but much more responsibility. Whereas with cloud, you have less control and most of the responsibility. So it really depends on the use case, depends on the cloud provider, depends on your internal IT environment. My personal preference is on-premise, but I'm a little bit biased. I'm a type A person who likes to have full control. Next question. With the rise of AI and photo imaging software, how does Regula see the future where AI is getting alarmingly better in photoshopping biodata and keying almost no evidence in the background pattern, especially for passports with low background patterns, i.e. Luxembourg and Germany passports? Well, this is where digital IDs and RFID chips are very, very important. And having the zero trust approach where RFID chips are verified on a server rather than on the device, does solve a lot of these issues. So no longer, I very much agree that no longer can you rely on a simple photo of a passport to verify that it is a real passport or a fake passport, because forgeries have become very, very good. So it's a matter of actually going through and using that RFID chip, which many passports now have, and I believe most will have quite soon. And that brings an extra level of security. And then obviously cross-checking the data that's extracted with other sources of data. Are you accredited in the UK under DIATF? I believe we are, but I will get someone from our team to confirm that response. Thank you for the question, Stuart. Anonymous attendee, do you offer white label? Please have a chat with our sales team and they would be more than happy to discuss all the different options to provide our technologies to you. What sort of other checks, apart from document verification and biometric checks, you see that will be part of the trends? Well, some of them that I mentioned is geolocation, user activity, other databases, and many, many others. So it's really about being quite creative and seeing what information can you access, how can you increase the number of layers of checks that you can actually do, and then orchestrating them correctly at the right time in order to get the best possible result. Okay, Enrique, one of our sales teams will be in touch with you to let you more about the particular use case you were interested in. Next one, how to manage smoothly new EIDAS regulations, verifiable credentials, and previous existing solution. Well, it's all about orchestration once again. Yes, there are many different regulations and different credentials, and there are a number of different solutions. It's all about having the right solution and having the right orchestration to provide the relevant checks at the relevant time. Every country have different policies for their immigration and borders. Are the tailored solutions on offer by Regula? There are tailored solutions, most definitely. More than happy for our team to reach out to you and discuss your particular requirements and how we can actually tailor for them. Would like to know if you still share the recording of this webinar. Most definitely, we will be sharing this recording. It should be available and emailed to everyone in the next few days. Next question. This is always, I love this question. I get it in many webinars. What is the percentage of accuracy for your ID verification? This sort of question is, how long is a piece of string? Because what is the quality of the image that's been submitted? What is the lighting? What is the type of ID? What device was the image taken on? With all of those things making very, very important contributions to the accuracy of ID verification, I can tell you that ours is probably regarded as the gold standard in the industry. So I won't go into more detail because it's not possible to give any sort of percentages, but we are considered the gold standard. Don't know what that question is. Yes, this is a good question. Hyper-realistic face masks have been used as disguises. Will this be covered through a selfie? Look, we have been doing a lot of work looking at hyper-realistic face masks and what potential technologies could be utilized to identify that threat. And there is there are some potential technologies that will be utilized within our stack at some stage. I can't give any exact dates, but it is something that we're well aware of and certainly working on at the moment. On that note, I think I've covered all of the questions, and thank you all very much for being so active and posing all of these questions. Well, that's all for today. We will certainly follow up on those couple of questions that were partially answered. And I would like to thank all of you for your great participation in the webinar. Please do not hesitate to contact us after the webinar in case you have any additional questions. We'll certainly be happy to assist. Please send any of your questions to the email address that you can see on the screen, kate.johnson@regulaforensics.com. Have a splendid morning, day, evening, or night, depending on where you are in the world. And once again, thank you very much for attending, and certainly hope to see you at our next webinar.